We won, right? Game over, man. Surrender. Surrender 20. No, it's gonna be really fun. I expect a lot from this game, especially because it's a weird kind of matchup when you have, when you have two all-in compositions. It's really cool to see how they're going to play it because it's like who pulls the switch first and do they pull it effectively, right? Do they go in where they should and when they should? It's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
then
exciting.
turning around the game is not so hard if you just get a good all-in with the losing lineup.
Oh yeah, 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 it's gonna be weird. Whomever gets ahead is going to be in a fantastic shape, while the team that gets even a little bit behind can struggle quite severely against it. But overall, because of Jinx, I think the For Glory has slightly better late game than the Killer Elite, but this is not the type of game that will go to late game. I do not believe so.
Well, we'll see. Of course, in the middle lane, it is Kassadin with the Ignite versus Orianna with the heal. So we'll see maybe a little bit more aggression from the red side. Maybe some quick ganks from Jarvan right there into the middle lane.
Quite honestly, it's weird to see Kassadin with Ignite. I mean, he's definitely a very effective assassin in the later stages of the game, but early on he struggles quite a lot. Wow, the Renekton barely feels the flag from Jarvan. That's quite a beefy bastard right there. And he started with a Doran Blade.
Well, yeah, it is a Doran's Blade versus the Crystalline Flask in the top lane. So, of course, Malphite just feels like he will be struggling a little bit. But, yeah, definitely we'll see how this Renekton works out. This is a very interesting pick.
Exciting to see after so much time, right? Renekton used
Yep.
to be this go-to top laner, as we mentioned before.
It used to be
Really,
Renekton
really
versus
interesting.
Shyvana all the time.
Oh yeah, but because it's like Renekton is a monster right here and now and in mid game, and Shyvana transitions marvels at the late game, and there was really nothing else to pick up. It was a big problem. Now that there's more options for top laners, people play things like Cassiopeia, people play things like Irelia, Jax, etc., etc., etc. Very exciting to see what's going to happen.
Yep, so there we go. The minions have spawned, the junglers are kicking off, and Jarvan with the Krugs in the bot. No, it is a Gromp in the bottom lane. Same goes for Vi, but she is killing the Krugs in the bottom lane. So they will be heading towards the top lane or maybe the middle lane, as I said, in the earliest
Oh yeah, it would
stages
make a
of the
lot of
game.
sense. It's a pretty good rotation, I feel, from the junglers. A lot of aggression going on mid lane, nothing happening yet. Top lane is trying to get the farm advantage and the level advantage on the enemy in order to all in at level 2. Very important. Lulu managing to shove off enemy graves, giving her Jinx time to farm. Very, very unexpected for me, at least. I didn't expect the Jinx to be able to shove it so effectively with the help of Lulu.
Yeah, and also forcing the Eye of the Storm from Janna. So that is a little bit of mana wasted, plus Graves cannot do much at this stage. It just wasted his ability to poke effectively.
Yeah, he really needs to get to level 2 as fast as possible in order to abuse his firepower against Jinx. And it really doesn't work if Jinx gets the level 2 first and is able to shove them back deep under the turret like this.
Yep, but for now it still looks quite fine for both of the bottom lanes, since it's 9-9 in the CS. Not going to see a big difference as of yet right there or anywhere on the map. But actually,
yeah,
just look at the top lane, 10-5. Renekton versus Malphite, of course. That is the difference between Doran's Blade and Crystalline Flask. Malphite is just struggling a little bit, just falling back slightly, trying to stay alive right there, while Renekton is going for the full aggression.
It's interesting enough that Renekton actually falls a lot on the health, right? But he's forcing the answer in terms of sustain from Malphite. Very interesting matchup to watch. Generally speaking, Renekton has an advantage in this matchup because of his early game firepower, but as the game progresses in later stages of the game, Malphite will outscale Renekton, but it's all about the mid game. It's all about the mid game for both of these teams. So much damage going on Janna.
Yep,
Lulu
Watcher.
alone.
Hello.
Holy crap.
Yep, that is the strength of this Lulu in the bottom lane, but same goes for Janna. They should start doing something quite quickly. As you said, this damage spike appearing at level 6 from Graves Janna in the bottom lane. There we go,
Ouch.
quite a nice burst on Lulu.
Oh my god,
there
Baigan,
comes
fantastic.
Gaza from the jungle.
Will they be able to secure a kill? A lot of damage, but a good slow from Lulu, stopping the aggression from the enemy, but a lot of summoner spells burned. It is flash for both Lulu and Jinx, and also the heal from Jinx. It's a very good gank from Vi, but she burned the flash, trying to secure a kill. Not able to do that. Jarvan coming to try to deal some damage to Vi, pushes her off of the very strategically important crab, and that's that. That's the fight of our junglers.
Yeah, if just Gaza hit this Vault Breaker, it could have been a very different fight right there in the bottom lane. It could have been a first blood for the blue team. However, nothing such as that happens.
Flash was almost necessary because otherwise it would result in a kill. Vi is very scary in early game ganks if she can get an enemy. Jarvan did a lot of damage to Vi. Oh!
There comes the first blood. And the
Vi
red team
slightly
gets...
failing. Oh.
And now
much
Jarvan
pain.
is in the middle of nowhere actually. The whole bottom lane and the middle lane are trying to catch him in the jungle of the blue lineup, but we're not looking at that, unfortunately, as of yet. Just gonna steal the Razor Beaks or Raptors, whichever you prefer. And no one's gonna catch him, so that's a clean first blood for the red team. For
Unbelievable,
Glory,
man.
coming out on top.
Unbelievable. It's very unfortunate that Vi failed the Vault Breaker over the wall. That would help a lot, but very well played by Jarvan, trying to stalk the low health enemy. And generally speaking, junglers like to stay at low health in the jungle because they want to not lose efficiency, but this efficiency this time costed her her life and even a buff, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, the buff definitely that hurts a lot. However, I think it was just the ending of the buff, so it's not a big blow to her. However, it is a huge bonus for Jarvan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The game has just froze.
Oh, in the middle lane, Mina just goes in very aggressively, but Orianna will be able to stay alive. However, the Ignite got burned, and Dark Achilles will have to come back to base, heal up, and then try to come back. Also, his own Summoner Spell heal got used right there, so this defensive Summoner Spell that he chose to pick is already gone, so once again he is very exposed to ganks, and double aim actually comes, but he meets Gaza right there, and now he loses a lot of health. That could have been the transfer of the buffs. Back again. But Gaza didn't manage to finish off the kill. Mina, now no mana left on this. Casted in, the Dark Achilles comes in. The auto attack is not able to finish him off. But Gaza is there. However, it is a double kill for the Malphite appearing from the top lane out of nowhere. Unfortunately, Renekton was not able to control that. He was doing quite well in the lane. However, Malphite with just one good gank gets a double kill and comes out ahead. So 1-3 in favor of For Glory, and in the bottom lane still trying to go for a fight. But this Lulu is just slowing everything down so effectively. Sonny, not a lot of mana. The same goes for Astral Watcher, so they will have to watch out. However, it doesn't seem like double aim will try to go there for the bottom lane. He just went out from his base into his own jungle. He'll just be farming for quite some time. And Sonny gets slowed down in the bottom lane. Nothing off of that, though. Seems like we are missing quick save. Let's hope that it's just a brief break. Well, 1.5 gold, 1.5k gold difference between the two teams. Of course, the red team being the ones ahead, but yeah, it's still before the dragons being touched. Maybe with the dragons, one of the teams can turn around or get further ahead. There comes the teleport for the bottom lane, so that is the difference between the previous gank from Malphite. Now Galaxa has a much more place to go in, but double aim once again wins the 1v1 against Gata, and now he's trying to assist his team, but his team is running away. The Magic Clown is too low to go for the engage. 4-1 in favor of the red team. Another free kill for them, and it's just Jarvan versus Vi doing so well. Vi not having a great time in the jungle. This one gank in the bottom lane could have got her ahead, but then it got paled. Actually, it forced a flash, so that was well played. However, then double aim completely outplayed Gata in his own jungle.
Whoa, excuse me for that. Just my internet decided to play a troll. Back into the game, so many deaths. What has just happened? 2,000 gold ahead now, almost 2,000 gold ahead for the For Glory team. It seems this early advantages that they were able to secure is snowballing into the mid-game advantages as well.
Well, still, the difference in farm is not so bad for every single lane, with the exception of the middle lane. Kassadin is doing so good in the middle. Plus, he also got 2 assists from this huge gank from Cormax. And there comes another one. Darkskills gets knocked up, and there comes double aim. Double aim is always everywhere on the map. This Javan is just so effective in the early stages. 10th minute closing in. So, well, there we go. As you said, there should be no late game in this matchup. And it looks like For Glory is getting so far ahead. And now Gata once again getting caught in his own jungle. And double aim once again dealing so much damage. And Gata actually, wow, he could have stayed alive, but he went in with the assault and battery. Pays for it with his life, but now double aim, he actually is close to going down because the bottom lane finally reacted in time. And there is the first frag for Graves. It might pay off pretty well, because Graves is a very strong AD carry, and if he gets the kills, he can do very much.
Yeah, Graves is still very relevant in this game, but can he get back to his lane? They're not letting him.
Oh well, he's losing a lot of
firepower.
health. Nice Monsoon right there.
Not enough. Lulu and Jinx are being very stubborn about how they're playing this lane. They shouldn't be able to do this against Graves Janna, but Lulu is playing very well and Jinx is following onto her plays, and they're managing to deal a lot of damage to the enemy. Kassadin, no need to be said, just so well played, generally speaking.
Yep, definitely. He's farming so well in the middle lane, plus he's getting the kills and the assists. In the bottom lane though, Sunny got this red buff after killing Jarvan, so that might be a huge bonus for him. However, he cannot really fight as of yet because he got poked down by Demented Clown and Zengvo a while back.
Vi fell significantly behind due to the Jarvan aggression, and it's very difficult now to get back into the game as Vi. And the only positive thing really right now is that she doesn't give a lot of gold back to the enemy.
Oh yeah, definitely. The only positive of that, but still she's keeping up in farm, which is quite a good thing. But once again, Cormax in the middle lane, once again using up his ultimate, and once again getting the assist. First of all, it was a double kill, then it's 2 assists, and well, he's just playing this Malphite so well. He was struggling against Renekton in the top lane, but he was not caring about the lane at all. He just was even in farm and then chose to go in on the middle lane. Now, quite a nice engage from the blue team, however the red team can just disengage as well. There's the wild growth from Lulu to save Steng though. Double aim can just run away with his EQ combo, and Kassadin of course with the Rift Walk. So they are still staying alive and quite healthy, so they will possibly be able to defend this middle lane. Yeah, definitely they will.
Yeah, absolutely. So many advantages clawed out in this mid-game, and Malphite played his matchup that he had perfectly, trying to transition to mid-game and be impactful in teamfights.
There we go, the Demented Clown gets bursted down so quickly, but then it is just the support, so the blue team are definitely happy with a kill. However, they wasted a lot of effort on getting just the support. If it were a Kassadin, that would be awesome for them. But now this dragon fight can still be a big struggle. It can still be very difficult. There's the Kassadin with the Rift Walk. There jumps the Jarvan in. He doesn't get the smite, but the dragon goes to the blue team. Double aim, very low on health, has to run away, but Mina gets engaged on by the assault and battery from Gatsa. Now Gatsa on the retreat, and there he meets Jarvan in his own jungle once again. The deja vu. He's always getting killed in his own jungle, and it's so unfortunate. It is a 1-for-1 and a dragon in favor of the blue team, but this fight is not over. Mina, will he be able to run away? Yes, so fortunate for him. And so unfortunate for the blue team. It could have been the comeback kill. What a nice ultimate from Malphite once again. He doesn't have any mana at all to go for the follow-up, but he doesn't need to because Galaxo has no health at all. It is just going to take some auto attacks to take him down, and there we go. A nice fight overall for Glory. It was very good for Killer Elite until they lost Orianna and Renekton. So Cormax just goes into the bottom lane to try and farm all the minions right there. A nice bonus for him because he was losing a little bit compared to Renekton. 402 Malphite. Well, I definitely haven't expected that from what he was doing in the lane, from what actually Golaxo was doing in the lane. He was having a huge advantage right there, but then could not. The first gank from Colmax was just it. Golaxo could not control this Malphite, could not follow him into the middle lane, and it was over. It was a great gank from Malphite in the middle. Grabbed the double kill, got a huge gold bonus, bought a couple of items, and then just rushing into the middle every single time with the unstoppable force, always securing at least one kill. And that's it. A very, very good game for Colmax already. (10-4) in favor of the For Glory lineup. Definitely looking great, but it still is not over. It's just the 15th minute, and as I said, both teams having the all-in lineup, so they can just turn around so easily. If they just get one good engage on the enemy team, they can possibly just come back into the game. Astro Watcher trying to run away. Oh, this Super Mega Death Rocket could have been it. Places a ward, and Galaxy just teleports in to scare the enemies off. There we go. The middle lane is once again the battlefield. And it must be so scary for the blue team. Once again, Colmax is here, and he could just ultimate in to two people, and that would be once again it for the whole team fight of Killer Elite.
Very scary team fight potential for the red team, especially with all the advantages that they managed to secure. Gonna be very scary for the blue team to handle.
Yep. And it seems like they cannot really find an answer to it. Once again, Kassadin just getting so far ahead in farm. Additionally, he has a lot of kills and assists there. Already has a lot of Aegis and the needlessly large rods, which gives him a lot of damage too. On the other hand, Dark Killers, he didn't even have a chance to land a good shockwave up until now. So they just should be looking for one good team fight. Maybe they can make it back, but it looks really bad for them at the moment. 1-5 for Gata, 0-4 for Dark Killers in the middle lane.
They keep focusing Dark Achilles very hard, not allowing him to do anything meaningful in these team fights. And by doing that, they deny a lot of the AoE potential that the Killer Elite has over the For Glory.
Well, once again, Demented Clown and Zengvo trying to poke someone down on the lane. However, this time around, it is not the bottom lane, it is the middle lane. And against a such weakened Dark Achilles, he already died so many times, he should feel helpless against them. However, nice dodges help him to stay alive right there in the middle lane. Now he gets some help from Gata and Golaxa.
I think Vi should have been a little bit more decisive in this particular mid lane fight. I mean, there's 3v2 right now, Kassadin is still far away, the bot lane is filled with Malphite and Jarvan.
But they are trying to close them in from behind, and that would be very dangerous, especially with Colmax with unstoppable force, and he goes in, but he catches two tanks. Is it a good engage from them? Finally, a good shockwave, but it catches two tanks too. So both teams not having the cleanest of all the engages. Golax is so low on health. Is there an ignite available? Nope, he will stay alive, but then Mina just jumps in onto Astro Watcher, and there goes the support of Killer Elite. 1-0, still a very slow fight. Oh, it is a 1-1 because double aim also went down in this fight. So
It's very close fighting, a lot of hectic kind of decision making. Jarvan jumping in the middle of the fight, Vi jumping back in later on, and only one person dying for each team.
Oh, Sonny, solo on health. He had no mana at all, so that was a bad engage from him. And well, also Gata decided to go in alone because the rest of his team had no health or no mana at all, and he went in for the engage. That was a risky thing to do.
Absolutely.
And he paid for it with the life of his AD carry.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just disrespect damage that Kassadin is able to put out very quickly and very suddenly on you. You have to be very aware of that fact, otherwise you will end up being dead, like Sonny did. But they're trying to make something happen out of nothing because right now they're 5,000 gold behind, And in order to stay in this game, they need to try to slowly breach this gap, or they will not be able to transition to any stages of late game at all.
Well, for now, the dragons are quite good for the blue team. However, there we go. For Glory just even that one out. A 1-1 in terms of the dragons. However, it is just a thing that works fine for Killer Elite. Everything else is not great at all. 2-0 in turrets in favor of For Glory, of course. 12-5 still in favor of the red team. And there goes the first turret of the game for Killer Elite. So finally a little bit of gold for them to work with. Polamax gets caught. That might be a nice kill, even though it's a tank, so they have to waste a lot of effort to get him. Oh, and he runs away with a flash unstoppable force. So they cannot even shut him down. That would have been a lot of gold for the team, but they will not get it.
Sneaky Malphite using the unstoppable force to unstoppably run away from the enemy team. I mean, not a bad decision making right there. No reason to die. He will be able to have his unstoppable force relatively soon, in just about 70 seconds. Not a big deal at all.
They are the ones to force the fights. If they don't have the ultimate, they just don't need to do anything else. Because the blue team don't have the resources to go in. And Mina goes in for Sonny. No way for him to stay alive or get the kill on Mina. Nope.
There is no way. There's literally no way. I mean, there's just not enough. There's too much item disparity between Graves and Kassadin. Kassadin has 10 stack Rod of Ages already, a freaking Johnny's Hourglass against just an Infinity Edge of Graves, which needs other items to be actually any good whatsoever. Not possible at all. Again, aggression from the red team on this mid lane, coming again. Not ultimate available for Malphite, but plenty of damage to kill the enemy if they wanted to. They need to play a little bit careful. Jarvan is very low at the moment. Lulu may get focused here. Will they go in on that? They probably should, right?
But they can't. There's no follow-up available. Even if Gata goes in with his ultimate, or once again with the Vault Breaker,
oh yeah, absolutely.
his team cannot follow.
There's nothing available yet. There's no ulti on Orianna, no ulti on Renekton, no ulti on Graves. The critical ultis of Graves and Orianna are not available. They cannot win these team fights without them.
And this turret will probably fall in just a couple of seconds, since Stengvo has such a huge range with the rockets, of course, on this Jinx. And he's unstoppable too.
Quite honestly, he could have just minigunned it. There was no threat for his persona at any moment in time whatsoever. The blue team was just backing off, so there was no reason to waste mana, you know.
Well, that's just a little thing that will not really affect the game at all, because Stengvo will just back away, since, as you said, the blue team was backing off, so they just got the turret, they got a little bit of gold. He'll just farm something up and just go back to base to buy some items. This mana will, of course, get regened quite quickly.
Honestly, it's quite terrifying that the For Glory team managed to get ahead so far against the Killer Elite with their slightly later team composition, with Malphite, Kassadin, Jinx transitioning beautifully to late game compared to the Killer Elite. It's just very unfortunate chain of events for them, from what I'm seeing.
So, for you guys asking in the chat, it is a best of 1, not a best of 3. It's just the beginning of the qualifiers. The finals will be played in a best of 3 format, but that is going to be on like 20th of February.
Basically in 5 years.
Yeah.
Not
today, not today.
Quite unfortunate though, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, the red team is playing pretty well with their advantage. They're trying to claw even more as they go around the map. All of the outer turrets have been destroyed. A single dragon has been secured. They need to try to make something happen, but they are not in an actual rush because they're a scaling composition.
Sonic goes for a nice trinket ward right there. Actually, it was a regular ward, not a trinket one too. So
it's
a little bit of money.
Quite a waste of money.
Wasted there. Yeah, as you say.
Unfortunately.
Still, he spotted the enemies. He didn't get engaged on by a scary Malphite, so I guess it pays off to not lose your life.
Yeah, quite honestly, Malphite is terrifying right now. At 502, Kolamax is just able to go in, not care about any damage whatsoever, and walk away alive in every single team fight that has been happening so far.
So there we go, the push on the bottom lane. But basically it seems like the red team is just choosing... Oh, yeah, Veloxo gets caught, but the Monsoon helps him out. The Ignite got burned right there. Ignite in exchange for an ultimate or a Renekton, I think it's kind of worth it.
Both ultimates.
Yeah, also the Monsoon, yeah, as you said.
Janna MVP, dude, but I mean, they have to be very cautious. They can't even go into their own jungle right now. They're under a heavy siege right now. Every single mistake they do right now is going to cost them just so much in this game.
6k gold difference right now is quite a big one. But yeah, what I wanted to say before this little fight happened, the red team is just picking a turret that they want to get, and they are just sieging it over and over and over again. You just approach it, and they have to back away. Okay, no problem, we'll just come here about 30 seconds later and get it anyway. Dark Achilles now gets engaged on it, and a super mega death rocket out of nowhere takes him out. Gatsa now in the middle of nowhere.
She just can't move them, still not enough. Oh, fantastic flash from Janna.
Nice flash from Janna, but Galaxus still gets caught with the ultimate of Malphite. However, Colamax does not have the damage.
Doesn't die, man!
Well, Mina now jumps in. That was very aggressive from him, and he has his own Hourglass to stay alive, but was very dangerous. Now Sonny goes for the aggression on Stankbo. Maybe he can get the kill, but not enough right now. Not 1v4.
The blue team is dealing a lot of damage. Killer Elite is very scary, right? But it's not quite enough to overwhelm the For Glory team with their decisive engages, the powerful Malphite, the powerful Kassadin. There's just too many damage threats and tank threats on the enemy team to deal with them.
Alright, so there goes the recall. The Dragon falls 2-1 in favor of the red team. So now they are ahead in pretty much everything available, with the exception of Barons.
Baron is so relevant in this game, quite honestly. They haven't really used... The sieging potential of the red team has been quite snowballed by their firepower and the tankiness that they have. They can just go under turret. Even with Kassadin tanking, they will be able to take the turret, you know? Turret dives are not out of the question at all. I don't know how blue team can address that.
Well, they cannot at the moment, definitely, if they don't have the damage. And if they go for chases like Graves went for in the previous fight, like he just chased one guy, 1v4. That was not a great idea right there. But now they could get a nice engage. Double aim, drops very low. However, there comes Colamax, and you cannot overcome this wall.
Yeah, it's literally a wall, man. You just deploy Malphite, and how do you move him? And the answer is you don't. There's no
and if you try to
firepower.
like go around, he'll just knock you up and deal tons of damage, and the rest of the team will engage, so you'll lose completely. No way.
It would be fine if Malphite was the only target that they have to liquidate. They have to deal with Kassadin. They have to deal even with Jinx now, because she's finishing her last Whisper slowly, and she will be able to deal a ton of damage even to the tanky targets such as Vi. And it's going to be a big struggle for the blue team to deal with.
What does the blue team do now? They definitely don't lose the support to win. Oh, there comes the... Oh, Command Protect, but Stangvo once again with the Super Mega Death Rocket. The ultimates from Jinx are just so on point in this game. The second or the third time taking the kill, and now the pinks on the Baron. Maybe that is a possibility right now, but do they really want it?
Oh, they could take it, just, you know, like...
Yeah, they could take it, but they still have such a huge advantage that it seems like a little bit of a waste of time. They could just push one turret.
But Baron is like this point that we...
Oh, Sonny gets engaged on by Jarvan, but there's quite a nice bit of damage from the blue team. However, double aim will still not drop Galactus. So low on health. Same goes for Gata. A double kill for Kassadin. Now the jungler gets eliminated by the red team, so they can go for this Baron if they want to, but they can just follow up with some more kills. Dark Achilles drops down to half of his health, has no mana at all, so could not fight. Right.
Excellent map positioning for the For Glory team, baiting the enemy to come to the Baron because they have to try to prevent that, but by not having sufficient amount of vision, they walk into the enemy trap in the forest where Malphite, Kassadin, Jarvan, and even Jinx have so many advantages, and again, Johnny gets one-shotted by Kassadin. Kassadin is just killing people on a casual basis right now.
Zonia's Hourglass, Rod of Ages, another needlessly large rod, of course, the penetration shoes and an amp tome.
430 ability power at this point, at 28 minutes.
28 minutes is so early right now for such a thing. 9-1-5, 9 kills already, 5 deaths on his enemy in the middle lane. Dark Achilles definitely not having a good game right there, but that was all from Colamax's gank in the very beginning.
Well, that's the only thing. That's the only thing Colomax could do, because he can't head-to-head fight against Renekton and win. He can just try to stay even on lane as much as possible and then roam other lanes and snowball them. That's the way you actually play Malphite, generally speaking, right? And he did it magnificently. You can't deny that. The man is doing so much work for the Red team right now, doing all kinds of engages and counter engages and being a huge tank threat for the blue team. I mean, for the blue team to handle. And now, there's so few things blue team can try to do in order to get back into this game. Orianna is still largely irrelevant into this game, has the Athens Unholy Grail, unfinished Rabadon, I would imagine, and it's just not enough to deal any significant damage to the enemy. Graves is in huge threat of dying. Oh my god!
That auto attack just completely blew him up.
Ouch! The pain is legendary right now.
Shows you the strength of Casson, even after all the reworks and nerfs and all he got, he's just blowing everyone up. Zengbo now gets caught with an assault and battery. That's a nice one. That might be a kill for the blue team. However, can they still fight in this one? Because Mina just joins, and Astral Watcher can also die right there. Colamax catches Gata, but Mina, if they drop this Castle, then they have some chances of winning this team fight, but they cannot.
There's just no way.
Just gets melted, and now Galaxa caught in the Cataclysm, cannot run away. A quadra kill in the end for this Castle, and just waiting for the Penta. Where is Graves? He's gonna be out for blood, I think.
I think Graves is gonna be a nice guy and give Penta a kill.
See. Nope, he's just backing away. Mina will not get it this time around, but he has the flash, goes for the ignite, did not have one more ability to get this kill. Still,
this was a full rotation with an ignite. 90% HP. How do you answer that?
No
90% HP on AD carry in one rotation.
You have to get some AD. Gray still does not have his attack speed item, just going for this Phantom Dancer, and he already needs to build some Quicksilver Sash or some other defensive item that gives him magic resistance. Probably a Banshee's Veil.
And consider this is Kassadin without DFG, right? I mean, if he wanted to go for DFG on a previous patch, he would be even more devastating right now. But even without DFG, he's such a huge damage threat, and even a tank threat, because they can't instantly just burst him down.
Yeah, plus
due to the Road of Ages. And the Zone is... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Every time they are about to kill Kassadin, he's like, nope, join it, guys. Really scary right now.
Plus, he just got a Lich Bane, so yeah, that was the auto attacks in the bottom lane that you saw. Half of Graves' health with just one auto attack gone.
Oh, it wasn't with Lich Bane. Imagine with Lich Bane.
Okay, so with Lich Bane, it's even more just devastating. And he just blocks the collateral damage, doesn't lose a lot of health at all. It just shows that he is not scared of the AD carry at all.
No, but in this stage in the game, everybody has so much tank stats. Malphite is basically full tank. Jarvan has Thornmail. Who builds that this early in the game? Just immovable by damage threats such as Vi, Graves, excuse me, and Renekton. They just cannot move him even if they wanted to. No way.
On the other hand, it's just the defense against Renekton, Vi, and Graves, because Orianna is completely irrelevant at this stage with 063. Of course, she has this Rabadon's Death Cup already, and teams on the Holy Grail, but that is not enough to do anything at all against this lineup. The blue team, yeah, the Unstoppable Force was available. That was a nice little idea by Renekton, but could not pull it off until the end. Galaxa goes down, double aim, tries to go for the engage right here. He could have thrown the Cataclysm and maybe cut Gata off of his team.
He could, but he doesn't necessarily want to dive without Malphite. Malphite is going to reinforce by walking. He's not going to teleport, there is no need for that. And when he reinforces, the blue team is going to be in a lot of pain once again. But Renekton did get a turret in the top lane in this ridiculous 1v1.
Oh, there comes the teleport from Malphite, the man himself. He doesn't have this Unstoppable Force available for half a cooldown more, so they cannot engage as of yet, but still, they took 2 inhibitors. What else do you want to get? Maybe the third one, but that would already be the end of the game, so the end of the fun. They will just back away, let the blue team struggle a little bit more.
Oh yeah, there's just nothing that the blue team can answer right now in a head-on fight, and the red team doesn't have to risk anything. They took 2 inhibitors, they can just back off right now, And exactly, as you said, let the blue team struggle with the minions at this point.
Oh, Dark
Oh,
gets
God.
caught in his own jungle, trying to go for the blue buff that is already gone. And also, the Shockwave doesn't do a lot anyway, so that's double aim just stacking armor and armor. He doesn't need this magic resistance because, as we said, Dark Achilles is irrelevant. Double aim now. He gets caught himself. Well, in a 1v4, he doesn't have too huge chances, but when Mina just joins, it is going to be the Kassadin show. A double kill already goes his way.
Once again, Kassadin coming in to clean up the fight that looked so unfavorable for the Jarvan's team. Jarvan kills the singular target that is irrelevant anyway, and then gets killed, but then Kassadin comes in and cleans up again in favor for the red team. They can just face tank this turret. Look at the Malphite's health. He's barely getting damaged at all. He has 3 tank items at the moment. All for the armor. What is his armor stats? Let me just check quickly. 345 armor at 3000 HP. This thing is just freaking bulletproof.
Yeah, definitely. Against AD carries, bulletproof.
And
Literally.
as you mentioned, right? As you mentioned, like, it's a very interesting factor. They've shut down Orianna. They've committed so much to shutting her down. And then they say, well, your Orianna is irrelevant, right? We're just going to build tank stats for armor, right? And we don't care.
Yeah,
That's
and also
exactly what's
it's
happening.
so depressing for killer elites if they have to put more than half of the team to kill a Jarvan and then there's the rest of the red team. It's impossible for them to win. It's impossible for them to do anything at all at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
And it started with just one gank from Malphite in the middle lane. It got Kassadin snowballing, and that's it.
Yeah, and he just keeps rolling, you know. It's very scary champion to let get ahead, especially in this matchup. And I was questioning early on the pick of Ignite on Kassadin. I do no longer. It almost feels like they planned for this. They wanted to get Kassadin rolling like this with the Malphite gank or the Jarvan assistance, and they managed to do that.
One force pulse, and there goes half of HP for both the jungler and the top laner of the blue
Terrifying.
team.
Absolutely terrifying damage coming in right now.
Oh, there we go. The inhabitants have spawned, and now they will get taken down once again. Astro Watcher gets deleted from the map. There goes the inhibitor. They do have the minions powered up by the Baron buff. They can just finish the game right here. And let's see if they choose to do that. 9-3 in the turrets. That is also a crushing difference. And there comes the unstoppable force. And Mina with all his damage gets the drop immediately right there. And well, there goes the rest of the blue team. Astro Watcher. Well, I think that he had the best fate right there. He just got deleted by Mina, but then the rest of the team collapsed and he didn't feel the rest of the damage of the red team. So he was quite lucky, but there goes Killer Elite and For Glory advance to the finals, to the best of 3.